When I first heard about this case, I went down the biggest rabbit hole. I spent hours and hours and hours trying to figure out what happened to Anastasia Hamilton.
We've got a code 187.
Officers on the scene.
Some of my content has mention of extreme violence, sexual assault, and or other triggering content. Discretion is advised. Hi guys, before we get started in the video today, I really wanted to show you the coolest thing that I have probably ever bought in my life. And I got it from a good friend, and it's from Missmelscreations. I will link all of her good stuff below. She shows videos of all of the stuff she makes. It's really, really cool. And I got this. It is code 187 colors, red and blue. And it is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. So I will link below her site if you guys want to go grab something. She's got all kinds of different stuff. It's not necessarily just skulls. She does flowers, she does all different colors, and you can custom order what you want. So I will link below. I follow her on Facebook, but I will link whatever social media she has to show you guys. So just wanted to shout her out. Thank you for making this for me. Hello, welcome to Code 187. I hope that your day is going fantastic. I am back with another case, and this one, you see the headline and it's like, what is going on here? And then I started digging deeper and it just like opened up all of this stuff, and it is a crazy case. So please come along with me. It is insane. Today we are talking about 25-year-old Anastasia Hamilton. Anastasia went missing on Saturday, May 21st from Cleveland. Now, this is kind of the information that we know. Anastasia worked in a building close to this parking garage called the Terminal Tower. Since she worked in this area, she got parking in this parking garage for free. Saturday night, she parks her car there. She is seen on surveillance video walking out of the parking garage with an unknown male. No one knows who this male is, and we don't know if they are together, if he is following her, if we just don't know what is happening in this video. But what it seems like is that they get into a Uber, her car is left in that parking garage, and then she just disappears. Now, this all happened around 10:15 p.m. So like I said, these two walked to an Uber, and then Anastasia is never seen alive again. At 1 a.m. in the morning, her friends get some text kind of saying, I don't feel well, my head is hurting, I'm really hungry, and I just want to go home. After that, all communication just stopped from Anastasia. The police do go into action, but from what Anastasia's mother has said, they didn't believe her at first. They thought that Anastasia left on her own volition and that she would be back, that she kind of was a runaway case. And they said basically she's an adult and she doesn't need to tell her mother where she is, and that is that. But Anastasia's mother just kept pushing because this was very unlike her daughter. She stopped all communication everywhere, not only to her mother, but on social media, also to her friends. It was like she vanished. This is where things get a little odd. The police dive in to trying to trace her phone records. Now this takes a couple hours, and when it comes back, her phone pings in Cleveland Steel Mill, which I guess is like a factory type of thing there in Cleveland. Now, Of course, if you guys listen to true crime at all, you are just like me and your alarm bells are going off. This is always a bad sign. It's first a bad sign when a phone pings somewhere that a regular human being who doesn't work there should be. Like, it shouldn't be there. And it pinged there, and that's a very, very bad sign. Also, we know that it pinging in this area where she doesn't frequent is very, very bad. Of course, the community kind of sprung into action, her family sprung into action, and they immediately started looking for Anastasia really anywhere they could. And on May 25th, we got some very bad news. Anastasia Hamilton's body was found. Now, 2 women found her in an abandoned house. I believe that this is correct, but I have seen multiple sources say different things. I saw that a witness found her. I saw that these women have found her. I don't really know for 100% sure, but I do know from a credible source it said that 2 women who were actively searching for Anastasia found her body in this abandoned house. It was lying on a couch and she was obviously dead. From everything I know, these women were looking for Anastasia in the community because of the Crime Stoppers coverage of this case. This abandoned house was in the Slavic village, and this part of Cleveland is kind of a more rundown, abandoned kind of area. There's a lot of abandoned houses, there's a lot of drug trafficking, and from everything that the neighbors have said, this house was completely abandoned. There was a couch in there, and Anastasia's body was found on it. Now, from reports, it came back that Anastasia's body had multiple abrasions, multiple bruises. It looked beat up from everything that I have seen. The medical examiner still has not released anything from Anastasia's autopsy, if they did one, or examining her body or anything. We don't know cause of death yet. We're still in this waiting period, but it should come any day now. This video is being recorded June 28th. That's almost, well, it's more than a month out from when they found Anastasia. So we're just in this waiting period. Now, kind of like I was explaining earlier, this area is not the best part of town. This is not an area where Anastasia frequented at all. This area is kind of known for drug trafficking, and the man that was on the surveillance video with her, the neighbors in this community where this abandoned house was, said that they have seen this man very frequently. That they didn't know Anastasia, and Anastasia didn't come to this house a lot, but this man did. They saw him driving by the house, they saw him in that house, and around that house. I'm going to say this next part, and I know the comments that I'm going to get, but please, please hold on and listen to the whole video before you jump to conclusions. Anastasia did have problems in the past with drugs. Now, this does not really mean much to this investigation, but it is vital that I point that out. She did have a problem with heroin in the past. She was not currently using, as far as everyone knew. Relapses happen, yes, but that is not what this case centers around. On top of the drug trafficking house and her possibly having addiction in the past, I have so many more questions, and I will definitely get to those. But first, I wanted to say, if you have watched this much into the video, please consider subscribing and liking and sharing. Now let's get back to Anastasia's story. So when I say I went down a rabbit hole, I did. I tried to figure out the movements of this girl and what could have happened. I mapped everything out. I do not live in Cleveland or anywhere around Cleveland, but Google Maps is right at my fingertips, and this is what I found out. Terminal Tower, where Anastasia left from the beginning of our story, to the Cleveland Steel Mill, where her phone pinged, is 11 minutes, give or take. The Terminal Tower to where her body was found was 12 minutes. Now, all of this together is 25, 30, 35 minutes round trip, and that's no stops, no nothing. This is all kind of in a close area as far as a big city is concerned. You're not driving 30 minutes and 30 minutes and an hour and da-da-da-da-da. However, what this does point out to me is someone that was with her knew this area very well. There is no reason that Anastasia should have known these two other places. The only place she should have known is Terminal Tower. After that, there's the steel mill and there's this abandoned house. It does not seem to me that Anastasia knew either one of these places. So that points to the fact that she was with someone, and we kind of know already that she was because of that surveillance video. This is where I think the keys lie. What happened here? What happened between these times? Did this man and her, or a combination of everything, or I don't even know, went to this abandoned house, and unfortunately she passed from an overdose or from something, and then they took her phone, someone took her phone to the steel mill? I mean, all signs kind of point that way. Or did she go to the steel mill first? And why was she at the steel mill? None of this makes sense. Nothing happening in this case makes sense at all to me. So here are some of the questions that are on my mind, and I am sure that are on your mind. First of all, we have to talk about this man. Now, from all accounts, her friends, her family, no one knows the man that's in this video. She may have known him. She may have met him on a dating site. She could have met him somewhere else. We don't know if she knew him or not, and we probably won't know that detail, at least for a while. So this man, from everything that I have read, has basically disappeared. Why did you disappear? Unless you had something to do with all of this, or you're scared, why did you disappear? Why aren't you coming forward to tell what happened to Anastasia in those hours before her death? Everything about this man is very fishy to me. He seems pretty clean from the video. However, if he frequented this abandoned house, it doesn't point to signs that he was homeless. So was this just somewhere that he went? But he seems pretty clean cut. In stills that I have seen from the video, I have not seen the surveillance video. I have seen stills. This man seems to be wearing pretty nice shoes, pretty nice clothing. He's got a lot of things around his neck. I don't know if they're keys, I don't know if it's like a bag, maybe going like this around his body, but he's got things around, like hanging from his neck. These are things that could be identifiable out in the world if you have seen him or her that night. He and his body language seems pretty comfortable. He's comfortable in the towers. He's comfortable standing by her. It doesn't seem that he is in a defensive mode. Her, on the other hand, she has her keys, and she is holding her keys in front of her. Now, if you're a female in this country, we know we hold our keys, sometimes just walking in a parking garage, but also as a defense mechanism. We have been taught to hold our keys out in case someone tries to abduct us, take us, hurt us, etc. When she's holding these in front of her, it seems like a very defensive pose. It doesn't seem like she is comfortable. Now, I'm not an expert. I'm not a body language expert. I'm not any of that sort. So I don't know. She could have been comfortable with him, but it does not seem like it to me. Why haven't the cops gone and made this person at least a person of interest? So legally, I believe that people can't really release this man's name if they know him unless he is a person of interest. At least that kind of happens in the media world. Now online, I'm sure you could find it. I did not find it, and I would not post it even if I did. But why is this man not a person of interest? He was the last person seen with her, and he disappeared. That all points to me that maybe they're building a case against this guy. I want to be clear here that this could be a one-off case, but this could be a huge trafficking issue. If there are people taking women to this house for sex trafficking or drug trafficking or all of the above, we could be in a way bigger issue than just this case. I mean, we saw that in a few videos ago with the girl that was taken from the game with her father. Like, they take women, they sex traffic them all over the world. Now, in Anastasia's case, she wound up dead. And I wholeheartedly believe that it was murder. I think there's a lot of signs that point to murder. Was this an accidental murder? Doubt it. But, I mean, like, what happened here? What got her from this point to this point? It just doesn't make any sense. Another thing in this case is location, location, location. We have to remember with this case that these places are not places that people go. Like, you walk by an abandoned house, you don't go in it to see if there's a dead body. The still mill isn't somewhere that people go. So that really points to someone is hiding something. So who else frequents this house? I mean, is there more than one person, or is this just this man? I think all signs kind of point to him anyway, but like I said, this could be a bigger operation. But like, we need to figure out who goes to this house. Now, this is something that her mother has brought up a lot, and I think it's the biggest red flag in this case, and that is the fact that she was not found with her belongings. So her mother alluded in some interviews that she didn't have the shirt on that she left with. Her purse was not found, and her phone was not found. That phone pinged in the still mill. So if this was a open, shut drug overdose case, she would have all of her belongings with her. If this was a case where she overdosed with people, they got scared, they dumped her things, that could have happened. This could have been an accidental overdose. The thing that throws the wrench in it for me is the fact that they said her body was beat up. So this points to blunt force trauma. This is why I think this was murder. Premeditated, probably murder. I believe that this girl was murdered and her stuff was dumped. And she was left in this house because they thought that she wasn't going to be found. I would kind of like to see if her body had been moved as well. Was this a body dump? Did she even die here? That, I think, is a huge question. Don't know if we'll get the answers to that, but that is a huge question on my mind. So, after all of this, after everything that I have said, what are your opinions on this case? Like I said, I believe that there's enough red flags here that this was murder, if not homicide. Now, did he beat her and not want to kill her? Maybe, but that's still murder. Like, I don't think that this is just a drug overdose case, a clean-cut drug overdose case. There's just too many weird things. Her stuff isn't with her. She's in this abandoned house that she doesn't know. I just think there's enough evidence to say that this is a murder case. However, I don't know if the police are working it as that. We need that autopsy to come back for sure. And when it does, maybe we'll have more answers. But I still think this man needs to be found and questioned. I don't know if the cops have questioned him, but as a community, we need to find this guy. So I'm gonna give you his description. He is 5'10", they think, white male, keys and lots of things around his neck. New shoes, doesn't look like a homeless or like a dirty person. I will of course post those stills if I can of that. It's just a very odd camera footage picture. At least to me it is. There's a lot to say in just this footage, I believe. Now, here is the big thing. If you have any information in the disappearance, the death, the days leading up, anything to Anastasia's murder, please contact Cleveland Crime Stoppers at 216-25-CRIME. I will post that as well below, and any other information that I have. There is a GoFundMe for her funeral expenses, and also just for the family. So I will post that below. We're almost a month out, and I feel like I just have more questions than I do answers in this case. If you like strange, weird, crazy disappearances, I have a bunch of those videos on my channel. More recently was Dylan Rounds. He is missing. That is a very strange, weird, crazy case. So if you would like to see more, please go to my channel. There is all kinds of playlists about missing people, and you can click on that. Thank you guys for joining me for this case. I dug to try to find the most and biggest parts of this case for you guys. I couldn't find a ton. We're just kind of left with, like I said, a lot of answers. If you liked this, please consider subscribing. And thank you for joining me today. I wish you well, everyone except for whoever did whatever they did to Anastasia Hamilton. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi guys, I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like any of the content for Code 187, please click that subscribe button, that like button, that share button. Help us out, help us grow. You can find us on your favorite podcast platforms. Yeah, check us out on there. Give us some ratings. Tell us what you think. We're also across every social media on Code 187. So we're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's it. And of course YouTube. So please, please, please subscribe if you like our content and spread the word. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.